and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they're living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville, QC Kinetics. 828-333-9517.
The Iheartradio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeartRadio station.
I'm Doug Brown. Week 2 in the NFL kicks off tonight with the Chiefs and Chargers in Kansas City. Both teams won their openers. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
The Chiefs will win tonight. Out of these two teams, they're the team that I saw be able to do whatever they wanted to offensively last week. They had 66 plays run. They got 33 first downs. That's 50% of the time they ran a play, they got a first down. That's the best mark in a decade.
Dan Orlovsky on First Take. Live Golf CEO Greg Norman says he has no interest in a truce with the PGA Tour. Norman says he's tried to talk with Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan in the past, but now says he has no desire to sit down and talk. Live Golf is holding its 5th event starting tomorrow outside Chicago. President Joe Biden will meet at the White House tomorrow with Brittany Griner's wife, Sherelle, and the sister of security executive Paul Whelan. Griner and Whelan are both jailed in Russia. The U.S. government believes they are being wrongfully detained and is trying to negotiate their release.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the Iheartradio app. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat each and every day here in the Ingles studio. And, yeah, it's back.
I feel like I hadn't had football in forever.
It feels like an entire offseason has passed in the last 3 days.
I need football every day.
I
look, you poo-pooed when I said we need Maction on Tuesdays to start the second week in September.
Doesn't help me. Maction doesn't help me.
That's because you don't wager.
I'm right. I mean, I get it. It feeds that need for you degenerate gamblers, but I want actual big boy football every day of the week.
Yeah, bet better. You'll figure it out.
No, Maction doesn't help me. I want actual football each and every day of the week. Put on some, random, like Miami and Texas A&M. That'd have been a hell of a game to have on a Wednesday night.
No, I'm good. I'll be really honest with you. I say this because I do want to have something to bet every day of the week. I kind of need the 2 days off.
You do?
I do. I mean, just think about this week. So tonight we have outstanding football game.
Yes.
I cannot wait for the 74 text messages I'm going to get from you asking how you're supposed to find this game.
It's on Amazon Prime, by the way.
It is. So don't go to the Twitter machine and go, I can't find the game on Fox. You won't find it on Fox because It's not there anymore.
Nope. Only on Prime. Only streaming. And, if you can't find the game, sorry, Grandpa. You need to get with the times. Look, if I can figure out how to have Amazon Prime and stream it on my television, then I feel like everybody else should be able to as well. So I don't want to hear any complaining. I don't want to hear any whining. Oh, it's not, I can't get it with my rabbit ears. Upgrade. I don't feel bad for you.
But you have that tonight.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, you got a whiteout, my Florida State Seminoles, taking on Louisville.
Uh-huh.
We'll talk about that game in the next hour.
Game I can't wait to see y'all lose.
Okay, I don't need your negativity, all right? I get enough of that being a Jets fan. I don't need your negative Nanciness.
I just do it to get under your skin.
I know.
You know, I'll be pulling for the Seminoles to win that game. That's bad. That's bad when you have an ACC fan look at Florida State and goes, yeah, I think I'm going to take you over that newer team in the ACC. Because there was a day where that never would have happened.
No, we were the most hated kid on the block, and I loved it. The Razor Ramon in me loved being the bad guy.
Now you're cute. Now it's like, oh, Florida State. I hope they win.
Now we're like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Just, hey, you were awesome for a minute. That was a real long time ago.
Right, we got big boy football tonight, tomorrow night, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Monday night is
doubleheader Monday night.
Yeah.
I just don't get a lot accomplished during football season.
Nor should you.
I don't. I want to get on a golf course. And I can't do that except in the noon window on Saturday because it's dog piddle.
Tuesday, Wednesday, y'all need to catch up to the schedule.
I'm fine with it.
I'm not.
I'm fine with it. Give me the action so I have something to wager on, and then let me roll on about my day.
Gotcha.
Because once Thursday starts, tonight, all in.
Oh,
if you can't get up for this game, you're not a football fan.
No. Chargers and the Chiefs are going to be a fantastic Thursday night game in Kansas City, and we will have all of the picks, the preview coming up for you later on in the program. We got Jones Angell going to join us for a Tar Heel time at 4 o'clock, as he does each and every Thursday throughout the football and basketball seasons. Tar Heels are off this week, but we figured why not give him, have him give us a ring.
A 3-0 FBS team is worth talking about.
Yes.
And according to CBS, they have the fourth most important college quarterback in college football.
Of course they do.
That's insanity.
It's not.
Stop doing that.
You're doubting the Drake May train.
I like the kid. And if you think he's the fourth most important quarterback in college football, you are delusional to the highest extreme.
He has landed on the map like nobody else in college football. Maybe Quinn Ewers, but that didn't only last a half.
Mulleted man.
Mm-hmm. That only lasted a half of football.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be back.
Gone.
Don't worry, it'll be back. Texas doesn't really have the most daunting schedule till he comes back.
As we do on Fridays, we always focus on the weekend coming ahead, picking the NFL games, Jeremy has all his banger picks for the weekend.
Oh, and the bangers this week are – last week was good. All right, we had App State as the moneyline dog plus 850. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. This week, some low-key – teams that you don't necessarily think about, got some big numbers, looking at one in the 40s, couple in the 30s. This is a degenerate weekend, and I'm very excited about it.
Okay. At first glance, the college schedule doesn't look like it impresses all that much, but today is our day to talk college football. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be all in on the NFL and picking games with the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. Who won that last week?
Yeah, well,
by
we don't
need to talk by quite a nice margin, actually.
We need to talk about that. You've week one's in the books. Jeremy's got the early lead and beat the Chief. 3 games over me, 2 games over the Chief.
Wire to wire. We're going wire to wire.
Wire to wire.
No big deal. Because I have a feeling there is one game that you both will go the opposite side of me, and it's a game that I could look like a total moron.
It's a bet your house game?
Let's say it's a bet my house game. It's just one I have a really good feeling about.
Okay. All right. So today is our, like I said, our college football day. We'll also talk some NFL, though, because we got Thursday night football tonight. Jeremy also has wants to talk about the Green Bay Packers. We'll do that later on in this hour. We got the daily draft coming up at the top of the third hour of the program, as we do each and every day. And today, since Drake May is the fourth most important player in college football.
According to CBS Sports.
Yeah, we'll be talking about college, we'll be drafting college quarterbacks.
We're going to do that list the way it actually should be done. Drake May's name, don't look for it to be included.
You're wrong.
Then it'll be you. If we went 10 rounds, I ain't saying Drake May.
Really?
No.
Stop it. Just a flavor
Greatest
of the week.
Greatest quarterback class ever. Mm-hmm. Greatest quarterback class of all time. And you're talking about a sophomore on a team that cannot stop a nosebleed.
Bingo. The team's going to win a lot of games.
In our
Drake
YouTube
May is the reason.
In our YouTube comments, the resident reverend of the Sportsocracy asked, Battle for the Belt link this week. It is in the YouTube description. It will be on Facebook later tonight. Well, I'm trying to figure out exactly what DraftKings wants from me. When I click the recurring contest button, it didn't recur. So I hit the button. That's all I could do. Why do you have a button if the button doesn't do what the button's supposed to do?
Right. Everybody make sure that you get in on the Battle for the Belt. You can still get into the contest. Apparently, we got people that are just like, screw it.
I didn't play week once. Fine. I can win a week. Right. I will get into the finals, and I will win this.
Right.
More power to you.
So
Let's
again,
go.
if you wanna register for that, just click on the link in the description of the video and make your $20 donation to Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project to put you in the running for the custom championship belt. It's being made as we speak with the Sportsocracy logo and all of that, plus the prize pack that's worth over $1,000 with lovely parting gifts from all of our lovely sponsors here.
Parting gifts are if you lose.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, parting gifts if you lose. This is for the winner.
Yeah,
it's not a parting gift.
Well, I mean, there are parting gifts for people who don't win.
Wiffle ball bat.
If you win your best ball league,
yeah, you get a prize pack from us. Get a little shirt.
There you go. That's
a new logo
gift
from the show.
That's a parting gift. Anyhow, Chiefs and the Chargers tonight.
I have one prevailing question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to change our minds about anything based on how this game goes? Is there anything that can happen tonight that you walk in here tomorrow and go, well, that's not how I expected it to go?
Maybe. I mean, if it's a low-scoring...
It won't be.
Over. Slugfest.
You know what? I got a pick that I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the next hour for. Over! You remember last week when I said take the under of Chargers Raiders?
But there's that
I feel that confident on the over
tonight. But there's also that thing about Thursday night football games. When you expect it to be fireworks and nonstop action, somehow the fates decide that tonight's Thursday night football game is going to be a gross fest.
And it's not going to be.
I don't think it will be. I don't think there's much chance of that happening, but I'm saying that would be one thing that would change my mind probably. And I don't know how.
The thing that would change my mind is if the Chargers win.
Really?
You go into Arrowhead and beat Kansas City, I'm even higher on you now than I was, and I had you at 2.
Mm-hmm. I already think they're better than Kansas City Chiefs, so I won't be shocked if they win the game.
But there's something about getting over that hump.
Oh, absolutely.
I think what most of us believe in terms of a complete team, that they're better. Kansas City has holes. Kansas City has holes in ways that the Chargers don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen you do it. There is something about this being the national spotlight game. Just look at last week. Reigning Super Bowl champions at home. Come out, lay an egg. How many people did you hear say, oh, I'm down on the Rams? Wasn't many.
Right.
Maybe regressed a little bit. Maybe went, a little Super Bowl hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Prevailing thought, Buffalo Bills are the best team in the league.
Yep.
Every power ranking that came out in the last week from anybody of any repute had the Buffalo Bills at 1.
Mm-hmm.
If the Chargers are able to pull this off in Kansas City, they're the only contender for Buffalo. For me, and I don't care if Buffalo loses. Tennessee could beat them. I still wouldn't change my mind that they're the best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Chargers win tonight, and it's impressive. Arrowhead's a hard, difficult place to play.
Yes, it is.
I say this often. It's hard to win on the road in the NFL. It's really hard to win on the road in the NFL when you play in one of the loudest stadiums in the league.
Are they going to have J.C. Jackson tonight? That's the question.
It's up in the air. The last I heard, he was still questionable. And I'm going to level with you. I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Okay.
That's not where this game's going to be won and lost.
It's going to be lost on the line.
The question is, can Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa get to Pat Mahomes?
Indeed.
If Pat Mahomes is upright and able to throw on time, I'm not sure who's going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
The Tyreek Hill thing, nobody cares. But it was against Arizona. Some of the throws he made last week, there's not another quarterback in this league that can do it. With Kansas City, you just trust it until it piddles in the floor.
Mm-hmm. But it is when Patrick Mahomes is under duress, he obviously takes a step back, as every quarterback does.
And if this pass rush can't get to him, nobody can. If Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa cannot get him off balance.
Mm-hmm.
When Pat Mahomes is balanced, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and it's not debatable. You can see it or not. It's totally up to you. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. The in-the-basket throw to Travis Kelce last week, there are not 3 quarterbacks in this league that made that throw that way.
Mm-hmm.
Tightest of tight window throws because he is in the pocket and nobody's close. But he's got a little Brady in him. When you get him off balance, yeah, he does all of the no-look things. Statistically, not great when he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there have been some highlights. But if you want to get to him, you're going to have to get him out of that pocket.
Mm-hmm. I mean, rewind back to the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got after him. Mm-hmm. That pass rush was in his face all the time. And it ended up being that, 31-9 surprise that nobody expected to see. I feel like the Chargers can do that to him. The question is, will that Kansas City offensive line be able to mitigate that enough?
There is a huge mismatch in this game, which is why I will be on the side that I'm on later in this show. After the break, we'll tell you what that mismatch is and how it can be mitigated.
You are in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
To tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Roots and wings. The 2 greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Prepayment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Thursday night football tonight. Yes, just a reminder. Feel like we have to say this every time. You're not going to find the game on regular TV. It is being streamed on Amazon Prime, period. That's it. End of message.
Repeat the line. You're not going to find it anywhere else.
No. It is only on Amazon Prime. So if you do not have Amazon Prime, might be a good time for a free preview or whatever. You can.
If you don't have Amazon Prime at this point, I am convinced you're either not married or
you keep your money in mayonnaise jars in the backyard.
Correct. I cannot remember the last day that I got home and there was not an Amazon Prime package on my doorstep.
Really?
It probably hasn't happened in 9 months.
Just constantly.
Every single day. And there are times it's 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
HWA loves to shop, but she doesn't love to go to a store.
Are your orders always accurate? Is the question. Okay. All right.
There's also a game you can play with Amazon of you say something was you return something, but they don't ask for it back.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wrap my head around that.
Oh, just keep it.
Yeah.
Return
it. Well, how about we just give you your money back? We know you're going to reinvest it in Amazon. We're Amazon. But you keep that.
That's interesting.
I will never. I've watched Amy do it 100 times.
Right.
Now this is not right. Well, here's your money back. You keep the wrong thing. We don't want the wrong thing back.
The reason I ask is because we bought a bunch of the kids' school supplies online this year. We ordered the 10 composition books that we needed, 5 for each child. We ended up getting 47 of them delivered to our house.
Sweet.
It was nice. So the entire neighborhood, composition books covered by the Spencers. Congratulations.
This is gonna be a strange question. The hell's a composition book? You want a notebook?
Yeah, the composition notebooks that you had to use for English class that don't have like the spiral binder. It's got the tape binder. Hard to rip out the pages.
Lisa in our YouTube comments said, "Jeremy, what are you, a cop?" HWA knows what she's doing. Yes, she does. I'm telling you right, we hadn't paid for a Halloween costume like the 5 years we've been together.
Nice.
Somehow a Halloween costume shows up, then the money goes right back into the account. It's still in the closet. I've seen it.
Nice.
The business model of Amazon is a little confusing. I appreciate it. I can run out of Tide tonight and have Tide on my front doorstep tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So all the people that like to complain about Jeff Bezos, I best not be seeing Amazon Prime packages on
Speaking of Halloween costumes, you do realize that the Big Orange Tent is back at the Asheville Mall.
I do. It's Halloween time.
The Big Orange
Tent.
Tent.
That's the only place in Asheville to go get your Halloween costume.
Absolutely. The Big Orange Tent back at the Asheville Mall. They are open 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, and 11 to 6, I think it is, on Sunday.
Are you asking me or telling me?
No, I believe that. I know they close at 6. I'm not sure what time they open on Sundays.
That's the one-stop shop for Halloween costumes.
Absolutely. They got everything you need. So be sure to go by Halloween Express, Big Orange Tent, at the Asheville Mall parking lot, as it is each and every year. Now, Thursday night football tonight, Chiefs versus the Chargers. There's one big mismatch. What is it?
I feel like the NFL community on the whole got duped into Kansas City was really good defensively. They weren't.
Mm-hmm.
of the 11 starters for the Kansas City Chiefs, how many of them, by PFF grade, finished in the top third of their position in week one? In a game that they absolutely eviscerated the Cardinals.
This is on the total defense.
Totally, it's the 11 starters.
Okay.
Base defense, 2 corners, 3 linebackers, blah, 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 blah.
I'll go 2.
It's 3.
It's 3.
Juan Thornhill, Nick Bolton. I have 4. L'Jarius Sneed and Chris Jones. 4 of the 11. The other 7 were bottom half or worse.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't show in Arizona because Arizona can't play dead in the Western. The LA Chargers can. And that team is really good, but there's no Keenan Allen. You know what that means.
Josh Palmer season.
It's Josh Palmer season, baby! Somebody in the YouTube comments asked, who is the low-key, sneaky DFS play? Josh Palmer, not close. 3 greatest fill-in DFS players of all time. Josh Palmer, Josh Palmer, Josh Palmer. Nice. Let's go.
Nice.
When he scores 3 touchdowns tonight, you are not going to want to be in my presence tomorrow.
Well, the problem is you can't make your hay off of it because you don't play the captain's things.
And you know what? In celebration of Josh Palmer, playing tonight.
You will?
Let's go.
All right.
Saddle up and ride.
He's doing the captain showdown lineup tonight.
Josh Palmer, captain's choice.
Interesting. So the mismatch here is the Chargers offense against the Chiefs defense, which might look good statistically from what they gave up last week. But again, they were playing the Cardinals.
In a game where you knew exactly what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you stopped them running the ball. Of course you did. You were up by a jillion before the game had really even started. Now, conversely, I worry about the outside corners with no J.C. Jackson. I don't know that I would like him that much better with him. Because who do you put him on? You look. That's one of the things that I think I undervalued after watching the tape of the Chiefs against the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so you got a lockdown corner. Who do you put him on? Unless he's a giant, you can't put him on Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Kelce will eat him alive.
Mm-hmm.
You put him on Juju?
I would probably say yes.
I mean, he led the team in targets. It's not like he was all that effective. He was fine.
Right.
My projections for tonight, he scores a touchdown. If you told me it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling instead, would I be stunned? No. Or Sky Moore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very multiple Chiefs offense. I cannot see a path this game doesn't go over. I know the thing about Thursday games, and they're always gross, and they're yuck fests. I get it.
Not always.
Almost always.
Almost always, but not always. I mean, the Tennessee-Buffalo game was a Thursday night game last year, wasn't it?
Which one?
The Tennessee-Buffalo? Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
No, it was a Monday night game.
Oh, it was a Monday night game. Okay. I knew it was a primetime game. I just couldn't remember which.
Yeah, that was a Monday night game.
Mm-hmm. More often than not, Thursday nights tend to disappoint. But I think this one is disappoint proof when you have Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and the only team that I look at and go, I don't know that you're going to be able to do everything you want to do tonight is Kansas City. Because I believe that much in the Chargers, and I'm not going to say I'm Seacrest out, as Jeremy likes to say, on the Chiefs' defense, but it's not great. I like L'Jarius Sneed. When you said who finished in the top third of their positions, I said 2. I was thinking Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed. You've got a couple of pieces on that defense.
Nick Bolton's a good player.
Nick Bolton's good, but it doesn't surprise me that he was a top third at his position last week. But still, he's not top of mind yet to me on that defense. And
I'm catching a lot of shade about Josh Palmer. Okay, look, he's a rookie last year. I understand. I said Josh Palmer, it takes some time to acclimate in this league.
Right.
Tonight, it's Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, end of message, repeat the line.
Jalen Guyton, your last little boyfriend.
The last need that we needed.
And, because there's no Keenan Allen. There's no Donald Parham. So you can't lean on that.
Mm-mm.
Gerald Everett, is he?
He's the starting tight end.
Yeah.
Trey McKitty, who played
way
more snaps.
Did he score twice last week? Or did he just score
had
once?
a touchdown last week.
Okay.
And played way more snaps than you want to think. I'll tell you another thing I'm looking for tonight. I want to see who gets snaps for Kansas City at running back. They had 3 guys play 16 more snaps last week.
Yeah.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was virtually a ghost in the second half.
Because he had already done the work. He'd already done the work in the first half.
That's not how I saw that. You're salting away an NFL game, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire could have just gone home, and I don't think anybody would have noticed.
Right. Isaiah Pacheco continues to be the name.
That's the one.
It continues to be the name that everybody's hot on, and,
Another, if you're looking for a DFS banger for tonight, Isaiah Pacheco. You can do much worse.
Not a bad one.
Biggest drawback of the Chargers, linebacking core. One of those linebackers ends up on Pacheco. He flanks out. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those where if you're Brandon Staley, you just go, I'm out! I don't know what's happening.
Thursday Night Football is going to be fun. Jeremy's going to have his picks coming up at the end of the program. Today, coming up after the break, we'll get just a bit outside, and we'll talk about the Green Bay Packers. Are they as good as, I guess, they, quote-unquote, want us to believe?
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction and become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. You've put it off long enough. It's time to get real, lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulder and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they're living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville, QC Kinetics. 828-333-9517.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. You got that bag. You got that Biggie Bag. You got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Today and just a bit outside, we're going to talk about, a little baseball here. Because something happened in baseball that I just find very comical. Zach Plesac. You remember that name? He made headlines back in the stop it.
What do you think?
He's a pitcher for the Cleveland Guardians. You may remember him from such stories as, I don't know, during the coronavirus shutdown when everybody was supposed to be locked away in their hotel rooms. Remember, it was him and Mike Clevenger went out on the town and didn't tell anybody, and then, oh my God, they put us all at risk, and it was a big scandal because it was right at the top of all of the return of baseball. And then a year later, we had the story that he broke his hand when he ripped off his shirt in the clubhouse. So angry about his pitching performance, he ripped off his jersey and then hit his hand on a chair and broke it. He struck again. He gave up a home run a couple of weeks ago against the Seattle Mariners. Knew it was gone as soon as the ball hit the bat. And what did he do? He couldn't control his anger again, and he punched the mound. Like he punched the ground and broke his hand. And today, the story has kind of come full circle because obviously when you have a client that won't take care of themselves in sports, your best option is to just cut him loose. And his agents have dumped him. This is 3 years in a row now that you have done something that takes you off of the field that was completely unnecessary. And you're gone. And you're gone. Zach Plesac. You are an idiot, sir. An absolute moron. I get doing it once. I get doing it twice, maybe. 3 years in a row? It's just an idiot.
My story is about a sport that, people actually care about. The Miami Dolphins had a pretty decent Sunday. 20-7 win over the New England Patriots. Never really in doubt. However, there is a pretty smart guy in the room that was not overly impressed. And that man is former New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton. On with Colin Cowherd, he said, I think at some point we'll see Tua benched in Miami. I think at some point they played well this Sunday with Tua, but Teddy Bridgewater I've had before, and he's an outstanding player. Somebody else said that. Was a mulleted gent that hosts this show. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm as confident now as I've ever been. I am as confident of that now as I've ever been. You mark my words that I said this. Everybody lost their minds about, look, Jalen Waddle was so good, Tua was so good. Talk to me Monday. Talk to me Monday when you play the Baltimore Ravens. And that line that, if you look at the analytics, was not that improved, and now you have to deal with Calais Campbell, now you have to deal with Odafe Owa, now you have to deal with that ridiculous secondary of the Baltimore Ravens. Just saying, I saw it, I went, that take sounds really familiar. He also said there could be as many as 8 other quarterback controversies in the NFL this season. I got to 5, and I don't know who the last 3 you're talking about are. And there's 4 rookies. So that makes sense. Miami, and then what? And the Giants with Tyrod Taylor, I guess? I don't know where else you're going from there.
Right.
I love Sean Payton as an analyst. Please don't take the Cowboys job. I really don't want to hate you. I don't want to have to hate Sean Payton because I like him so much.
And you'll have to hate him if he's the Dallas Cowboys head coach.
I won't have to, but their fans will drive me nuts. Oh, now we're Super Bowl champions. 2023. Gad's got to happen because now we have a coach. You still have a quarterback. So, see you in 5 years.
Well, I mean, he would be the first coach that they've had since Jimmy Johnson.
Bill Parcells has a word to say about that. Because
I forgot about him.
You forgot that every third coach they go hire a big fish.
Yeah,
and it.
Yep.
Every time, the Dallas Cowboys are about as predictable as the weather. Just it's gonna be about 72, maybe rain. Weatherman. There you go.
Fair enough. The Green Bay Packers. I mean, they're the darling of the NFC, I would say. Everybody's pretty much got them in their top 3 in NFC teams.
Well, I mean, I think everybody has the same 3 teams in the top 3 of the NFC.
Possibly.
If you don't have the Rams, Packers, and Buccaneers in the top 3, I'm a little confused. Now, I don't have the Bucs winning the division, but I do think they're talented.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Eagles as the 3, but not Tampa.
Interesting. Anyway, the Green Bay Packers, they're infallible, right? Until it comes playoff time.
And it's not even that. I did some digging because I caught some flack for not being worried about the Packers. And I'm going to be honest with you, around the league, nobody's worried. It's the same thing as it was last year. It's Aaron Rodgers. We'll figure it out. But I did discover a very alarming trend with Matt Leflore. He set the record as the greatest winning percentage through 3 seasons in NFL history. You know what I discovered the deeper I went? He very rarely ever beats anybody good. He has a ton of wins over the Bears and the Lions. Hadn't been that good against the Vikings. 4-3. That's not great. And I do have a little bit of a fear of what is the real honest difference? And I know it's going to sound weird when I say it because of how much the stock on the latter person I'm getting ready to say has regressed over the years. What's the real difference between Matt Leflore and Mike McCarthy? Neither one of them can manage the clock.
Yeah.
They've both had good quarterbacks, and you just don't seem to win at a very high level very often. I mean, I know one of them is greatly better looking than the other, but that's because Mike McCarthy looks like he could be Tank's brother. That's it. There's really no difference. They're the same guy. And that does unsettle me a little bit.
Are they the same guy, or is it just Aaron Rodgers can't win big games?
Fact or fiction, Aaron Rodgers is one of the 5 best quarterbacks that ever lived.
Fact.
I struggle to believe that guy can't win big games. It's the same thing I always said about Dan Marino. You really think Dan Marino couldn't win big games, or do you just kind of look at the receivers he's had around him and go, well, that leaves a lot to be desired?
Well, nobody's ever going to talk about his head coach. Nobody will ever slight Don Shula.
No, and I guess that's kind of where I'm at, is there's no comparing Matt Leflore and Don Shula.
No, absolutely not.
But I think there's this narrative that you lump Leflore in with Aaron Rodgers. This will be okay because you've got the coach and you've got the quarterback. I know you have the quarterback. I believe in the receiving core. They're young. They're rookies. It's going to take some time. RELAX. My fear is I don't know that you have the coach. I mean, it's a pretty damning stat that you started your career with the best record through 3 seasons in NFL history. You don't need one hand to count the number of teams he's beat twice. Think about what I just said. The second time you play a team, he struggles. Minnesota, only team in the division that's even within a stone's throw of Green Bay talent-wise. You beat them every other time. And you're astronomically more talented than Minnesota. First-time head coach. First game Kevin O'Connell ever coached. He ran circles around you. That's unsettling to me. And that's not what I was prepared to find. I really was just looking for ammo to throw back at people that thought I was being an Aaron Rodgers homer.
Right.
And with Aaron, I mean, if you got something against him, good luck. That's going to be a losing argument with me.
The only argument that you can come up with is that he doesn't win big games. He won 1 Super Bowl back in 2011, so that's been 11 years ago that he won a Super Bowl. And what's it been ever since? Get deep in the playoffs. Eventually, you just can't get over the hump. Was it 3 straight years they went to the NFC Championship game and couldn't make it to a Super Bowl? Now, a lot of that lies on Matt LaFleur.
A lot of it lies on the defense.
Remember the field goal. Remember the field goal call in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I mean, you were down already, but you took the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands and tried to kick the field goal, and then gave Tom Brady, not only did you give him enough time to be able to close out that game, but you also gave him a short field to do so. I've always had the criticism of Matt Leflore.
I still feel like you hear that enough.
No, because the record looks good. You look at his record and you go, oh, my God, he's 39-11. He's an awesome coach.
And 6 of those wins are against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Pee Wee Herman could beat the Bears right now. Jet sweep right. I mean, that's who he beats.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look into the actual legitimate wins he has, and there's a yeah, but on every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. They couldn't score. I can't finish that how I wanted to. I had a line there, and I just realized this is not one of those uncensored shows that we do.
Yeah. By the way, don't make Pee Wee Herman jokes. Just don't do that. Anyhow, stop.
I'm lost.
Yeah, you are. I'll fill you in during the break.
I mean, he's dead, I think. If he's not, then I haven't seen him in 15 years.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Anyhow, I think there is a lot of criticism to be heaped on Matt Leflore. But are Matt Leflore and Mike McCarthy, are they products of how good Aaron Rodgers is?
Of course they are. Of course they are. Ask yourself this question. If Matt Leflore was the head coach of the Vikings right now, do you think that team is better or worse than they are right now with a coach that you've seen one game?
Oh, I don't know. I would imagine they'd be about the same.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at. Kevin O'Connell, I've seen him coach one game.
Mm-hmm.
Matt LaFleur's this great coach that's top 5 of all time in every statistical metric you could possibly find. Yeah, because he plays in a terrible division.
I mean, it's great. It's great that you have top 5 capabilities. But just because you have top 5s in the record books doesn't necessarily mean you're one of the top 5 coaches in the league. Right?
I don't even think it's debatable. He doesn't even sniff that conversation for me.
Yeah, no.
But he does to some. And I feel like he catches no flack for this.
I mean, to some, are you saying Packer fans?
No. I mean, across the league, people think he's a really good coach.
Mm-hmm.
What has he actually done? Over Aaron Rodgers' entire career, and this was where I started with this. Do you know how many times he's had a defense that finished in the top 10 in the NFL in points or yards?
I'd say like 4.
4. In his entire career, and you have Aaron Rodgers who never turns the ball over.
One of them was probably...
You're never put in bad situations.
I was going to say, one of them was probably
the
last
Super Bowl year.
And I was going to say...
Last year, they weren't even close.
They weren't?
They weren't even close. They were 20th in points and 25th in yards.
Wow. Okay.
And this is with a quarterback that you are never put in a bad situation with.
Mm-hmm.
Who does that fall on? There have been 14 different defensive coordinators since Aaron Rodgers has been there. You can't blame Dom Capers. He's been gone for 10 years. Or Mike Pettin or whoever else. And so to me, it all comes back to there is something wrong with this team. It's 2 years in a row you've come out as, I'm not going to say the prevailing favorite in the NFC, but without a doubt, top 2 to practically anybody with an IQ above salad dressing.
Mm-hmm.
And you got smoked by 2 teams that are fringe wildcard teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, neither one of them are at home, but still, you got absolutely smoked. I can count on one hand the number of teams that got demolished in week 1 in those 2 years combined, and Green Bay was 2 of them.
Yep.
That falls on the coach. Whether you're not prepared, whatever the case may be, Matt LaFleur deserves way more flack than he gets.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Pennywise. Hey, there's Mike McDaniel is the Pee Wee Herman of the AFC. No doubt. No doubt. Oh, and Adam Black got it. I don't know why you didn't get it, Jeremy, but he got it. Don't make Pee Wee jokes. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25 day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at silveradoswnc.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Other banks go out of their way to make redeeming credit card rewards needlessly complicated. Like how they require minimums or force you to use your rewards before reaching some arbitrary expiration date. But Discover isn't like that. With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. So you'll never have to jump through hoops. Unless you're like a trapezist, then by all means, go right ahead. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
The Iheartradio Music Festival,
where the biggest stars from all walks of music come together.
September 23rd and 24th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Limited seats are still available at AXS.com or stream it live on the CW app and CWTV.com.
The Iheartradio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Hyundai is a proud partner of the 2022 Iheartradio Music Festival. When it comes to electric vehicles that go the distance, we're thinking of every mile. Hyundai, it's your journey.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It's ESPN Asheville, and big news out of the NFL today. Jeremy, your former little boyfriend is not going to be able to play the rest of the season. Jamal Adams, out for the year.
Man, that trade looks better and better by the week.
You loved it when it happened.
Oh, that is one time in the history of the NFL that I've ever seen a trade. Then I saw the compensation, and I audibly laughed out loud. Of who on the planet Earth thought that was a good idea?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate it for Jamal Adams. But you talk about a player whose value has absolutely cratered outside of New York.
100%. I always thought it was strange that they would give up that much.
It never made sense.
For a linebacker.
Giving up 2 first-round picks for any player that doesn't play quarterback is moronic.
Mm-hmm.
And I could argue you'll never see it happen again.
Yeah.
That will go down in NFL history as one of the worst trades we have ever seen. It's not Herschel Walker bad, but it's in the ballpark. It's playing the same sport.
Right.
And now, I mean, and ask yourself this: do you feel drastically different about Seattle with Jamal Adams or without him?
No. No, he doesn't move the needle.
No. There are just certain positions in the NFL that are not that valuable. Safety, not that valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Off-ball linebacker, running back. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You invest draft capital into players that really move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks, left tackles, edge rushers, at the highest end, corners and wide receivers. Other than that, draft them, you'll figure it out.
Yep.
Think about it this way. Of the 8 best teams in the NFL, when we did power rankings on, what was that, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Of the 8 best teams in the NFL, I could argue the biggest weakness for 5 of them is that they're not very good at linebacker.
Yep.
2 teams playing tonight.
Yep.
Not very good at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
You got 1 apiece. Nick Bolton, pretty good. Everything else, very mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So you invest that much in a player like that, don't be surprised when it leads to exactly what it's led to. And then you have to pay them.
Right. Chiefs and the Chargers tonight on Thursday Night Football. Again, streaming only on Amazon Prime. We're going to have to bring that up so nobody gets confused when you can't find the game on regular cable television. Do people still do cable? Is that the thing?
Dan Patrick did a poll earlier today of how do you get your television? Almost 70% of people said streaming.
Yeah.
We have DC Streams, which is, if you're going to have anything, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if I can't find it on Prime, I was also going to tell you this. Games are still played in local markets on local television stations, so you can find it on an L.A. local affiliate or a Green Bay affiliate if you have DC Streams.
Ah, okay.
Just how I will be watching the game. At least part of it. I do want to hear how Herb Street is calling these games.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be phenomenal.
I think you're right.
We've seen it before. It's not like this is the first time he's ever done it. Kirk Herbstreit has done Monday Night Football doubleheaders before.
Oh, yeah.
And when him and Chris Fowler are doing the games, it's always fun. Because they just bring another level of it. Now, with him being NFL only now with the Amazon stuff, I don't know how much of the college talk you're going to get.
Oh, no, you'll still get college talk. Herbie's still doing college games.
I know he is, but what I'm saying is that's usually with ESPN, who he does college stuff with. I don't know. Maybe Amazon told him, look, dial back the college stuff a little bit.
I'm going to wager they didn't.
I would.
Because it's part of what makes me love him.
Oh, 100%.
I also love him on College Game Day.
Which is a banger of a show and coming to Boone.
It's coming to Boone, and we just got the breaking news that's probably the least surprising thing in the history of creation.
No, I told you this was going to happen.
The guest picker, our buddy Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Of which, if you really want to get away from the, what was that god-awful picker week with Jack Harlow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was horrendous. To go from him to Luke Combs, whoever does the booking, I feel like there might have been a shakeup in that particular spot.
Well, honestly, there was no other choice. If you're going to bring in a guest picker for the home team, who would it have been? And it's not you. It's not you.
I didn't expect it to be me. I can't think of another famous alumni from
North Carolina. Just in North Carolina. Anybody tied to Appalachian State?
Church. Eric Church he would be 2.
Is he from North Carolina?
He went to App State.
Oh, did he?
He did.
I thought he was a Bulldog.
he did, but I wanted to be sure of that.
I thought he went to Georgia.
He's a Georgia fan. He went to App State.
Ah, okay. See, I didn't even know that.
And from there it gets it gets a little thin.
Yeah.
But Luke was the right call.
Absolutely.
And Luke's going to be phenomenal.
No question about it. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the Sports Center update, it's Tar Heel time with Jones Angell, the voice of the Tar Heels.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction, become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The internet loves Mexican pizza so much, Taco Bell made a musical about it. Catch the show on TikTok. But first, pick up or get your own Mexican pizza delivered from a participating U.S. Taco Bell location. While supplies last, contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
The Western North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Ingles is Sunday evening, September 25th at the Grove Park Inn. The Hall of Fame inductees are former Owen coach Kenny Ford, WNBA and NC State basketball star Rhonda Mapp, Mike Silver from McDowell High School girls basketball, former Major League pitcher Darren Holmes, Reynolds and Clemson basketball standout Tara Sanook, racing legends Bob and Robert Presley, and women's basketball player, coach, and official Judy Stroud. And the Lifetime Achievement Award will be going to WLOS's Stan Pam Phillips. Get tickets online now at WNCSportsAwards.org.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Your passion is NFL football. Your access is total. Every weekday, NFL Total Access hits you with uncut. He can't be stopped. Uncensored. I love that. And unapologetic takes on all things NFL. That's how crazy it is. We go beyond what happened to tell you how it happened and what happens now. Those are the facts. On the field, inside the huddle, and under the helmet. This is NFL Total Access, the podcast.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK. W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and Iheartradio station.
City tonight, the Chiefs and the Chargers. Big quarterback matchup, too, for the Chargers, Justin Herbert.
You can't afford to turn the football over. You can't afford to give Kansas City a short field. You can't afford in KC to make the mistakes that you see young players make. He's still young. This is only his third year. They're going to depend on him to do a lot because he's going to have to try to match point for point with Patrick Mahomes, or better yet, throw for throw with Patrick Mahomes. And that's a lot.
ESPN's Keyshawn Johnson on KJ and Max. The Steelers put linebacker T.J. Watt on IR today. He's expected to miss about 6 weeks with a torn pectoral muscle. He does not need surgery. UConn agrees to pay former basketball coach Kevin Ollie almost $4 million to settle a discrimination claim about his firing back in 2018. Ollie was also paid $11 million in back salary after an arbitrator ruled he was improperly fired. The NBA reaches a new 7-year deal with the league's referees. It runs until 2029 and was approved by an overwhelming majority.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the Iheartradio app and, of course, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. You can also join the battle for the belt still as we are trying to crown this year's Beer City's best fantasy football player. And, of course, you can hear Jones Angell, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, as it is Tar Heel time here on a Thursday afternoon. And the Tar Heels are 3-0. And got an off week this week. So, Jones, this is, I'm sure, some time that the coaches are taking to put the touches on this to get ready for the ACC season.
Yeah, Tank, and I think it really has set up nicely for Carolina this year as far as the schedule is concerned, because playing that Week 0 game has afforded them 2 bye weeks in this season. And so, you've played 3 games, you get the bye week. Carolina plays 4 games in a row once it returns to action, then gets another off week, and then has 5 weeks to finish things off after that. And so what it's done is it's really given Carolina 3 very clear sections of the season. And so, a lot of the talk in the preseason was about these first 3 games and, win these first 3 games do X, Y, Z, see where you are, and then adjust and figure out what needs to get better and improve and all those different things. And, of course, you're doing that week to week throughout the year, but it gives you a very hard line of where you can get to that point and then kind of reassess. And so for the Tar Heels, it hadn't always been pretty, but they're 3-0. They've won 2 games away from home. They had the wild game against Appalachian, which, isn't it funny, Tank, how everybody was mad that Carolina, the way that Carolina won that game, and now everybody's so happy that they did win that game. And then the Georgia State game, the Tar Heels looked good early and then didn't look good for a little bit and had to show a little bit of toughness. They trailed late in the third quarter and against a team that I don't think is bad in Georgia State. And the Tar Heels had to show a little toughness and make some plays, and they did it on both sides of the ball down the stretch to get the win. So, both things can be true, and I say that a lot when I'm talking with you, Tank, but Carolina is happy to be 3-0. They are proud of that accomplishment. That's true. And then it's also true that they understand that there's a lot of things that have to get better. And so they're working on those things right now and trying to get ready for what will be an important 4-game stretch, which starts next weekend when they host Notre Dame in Kenan Stadium.
Well, it's always a sign of a well-coached team. Despite how well things may be going, you always have, we still need to work on X, Y, or Z. That's one of the reasons that I always loved, I don't know, guys like Dean Smith, Roy Williams. It didn't matter if we were up by 30 and just dusted the floor with Duke. Roy was always going to come back with, but we didn't rebound that well. Or, it's always something that you can work on. And the defense is, it's the lightning rod right now for this team. And for every Tar Heel fan who goes, we've got some pieces, we've got some really talented players. It's just, as we talked last week, Jones, putting together a full game, because you saw in the Georgia State game where, it was the fourth quarter for Appalachian State, scoring 40 points and coming back and making that a deal after the Tar Heels had to rally. And then you had the Georgia State game where the third quarter and things seemed like they were starting to come off the rails and get a little dicey.
Yeah, I don't think it takes a coach the caliber of Dean Smith or Roy Williams to recognize the number one thing that the Tar Heels have to work on, and that is defensively. And I will say a couple things. One, I will credit the Tar Heel defense for the fact that Georgia State made a push in the third quarter. And look, Georgia State's not the best offensive team that Carolina is going to play this year, but final 4 possessions that the Panthers had were all punts. It was 17 total plays in those 4 possessions. And so Carolina's defense, when it needed to, stepped up, and it held the Panthers down and allowed that offense to score back-to-back touchdowns to take the lead and then eventually run out the clock and win the game. And so, again, they weren't out there against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs or something, but they got some stops when they needed them. And so I thought that was a nice sign of growth for Carolina in a spot where they needed to step up. And then, we talk about the defense in total, but I really think it's actually, you can break it down into a couple different areas. Carolina, I don't know what more Carolina can ask from its linebackers. I think Power Echols and Ced Gray and Ra Dilworth coming as a reserve, those guys have played great. When they've been out there, they violently attack the ball, they tackle well, they move with speed, they're in the right place. I mean, those guys are playing really, really well. I think the defensive line probably isn't quite where you want it, but I do think that it is continuing to get better as this year has gone along. And again, small sample size, we're still only a couple weeks in, but I thought Carolina had its best game up front in the game against Georgia State. The Panthers are so dedicated to the run, so they are going to hit a couple, but for the most part, I thought the Tar Heels did a pretty good job there. They slowed down a rushing quarterback, which has been so hard for Carolina over the last few seasons. And while Darren Granger, the Georgia State QB, had a couple of runs, he didn't hurt Carolina dramatically with his legs. And I think that's a credit to the Tar Heel front. And then the secondary is where clearly the most improvement needs to occur. And Carolina is aware of that too. And the Tar Heels are working hard at it. So I don't think that game against Georgia State was the best defense Carolina can play. But I do think there were some encouraging things in that game and some encouraging moments through these first 3 games that you can take out. And having said all of that, the Tar Heels have to get better in the secondary, particularly when they start getting into conference play and you're playing against better quarterbacks. Yeah, Carolina has not seen the best quarterback that it's going to play this year. You know, it's still going to play Sam Hartman at Wake Forest, and it's going to play O'Leary from NC State and Van Dyke from Miami. I mean, these are really good quarterbacks, and the Tar Heels will get picked apart if they don't continue to improve. But the good news is they have plenty of time to do so.
Well, you got the off week this week, and then you got Notre Dame coming up, which they've had their struggles as well. I mean, you know, we have been talking obviously all week about the week that was in college football and Appalachian State pulling the upset down in Texas against Texas A&M has been the big storyline. I think that everybody has glommed onto, at least here in North Carolina, because I mean, who would have thought that Appalachian State would be the talk of North Carolina football 3 weeks into this college football season? It's kind of taken everybody by surprise. And now you got game day coming to Boone this week for the Troy game. But Marshall upsetting Notre Dame last week, their quarterback got hurt. So now it looks like the Notre Dame matchup might look a little bit more in favor for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and Notre Dame still has another game to play. Of course, they're hosting Cal this weekend, and I agree with everything you said about Notre Dame. I mean, certainly the Irish don't like where they are right now. They're 0-2. They probably knew it was going to be an uphill battle against Ohio State, but I'm guessing they thought that they should probably win a home game against Marshall. And yet, anybody who thinks Notre Dame doesn't have talent or isn't going to improve, I think that's crazy to think. And having said that, yeah, that is an opportunity for Carolina, because I do think the Tar Heels, again, with some warts, there's no question, but there's also the fact that Carolina's won 3 games, and two of them have been on the road, and yet the national narrative about Carolina really is centered around that fourth quarter against App, because that's the game that the most people saw, because it was in that early window and it was so crazy. And so the national thought right now of the Tar Heels is that they gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter against Appalachia, which of course is an accurate statement. But the Tar Heels have an opportunity to change that narrative, and part of that can come when they host Notre Dame. That's a team, an opponent that's going to garner a lot of national attention just by the nature of playing them. What they do week in and week out gets attention, just like when the Tar Heels play basketball. Whatever they do is going to get attention, and Notre Dame is in that conversation when you're talking about football. And so if the Tar Heels, regardless of Notre Dame's record at that point, can play well and show well, I think that's an opportunity for them to get a little more attention on the national level. Having said that, Tank, I'm not even sure they really care right now. I mean, I don't think the Tar Heels are concerned about if they're ranked or what the talking heads on ESPN are saying, as much as they want to keep getting better. They want to compete for the Coastal Division of the ACC. They think they have a team that can do that, but they also understand that it has to get better. And so that's the next step in them trying to do so.
Absolutely. You look at the schedule, there are winnable games for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and you shouldn't – I don't think this team should or will ever look at themselves as out of any of these contests because of the athletes that you built there. I mean, I still think this is one of the best groups of talented players that Carolina has probably had in its history, and you're going to be a contender in each and every game. It just depends on – if you can tie everything together with the defense and play that full 4 quarters.
Well, and I think you look at these next 4 games, and you know this is an opportunity, because after Notre Dame, Virginia Tech coming into Kenan Stadium, then you go to Miami, and then you go to Duke, and then you get another bye week. And so, those are 4 teams that people know. 3 of them are conference games. You get 2 back-to-back weeks in Chapel Hill, which should be great atmospheres for Notre Dame and then Virginia Tech. You go to Miami, who was the preseason favorite in the Coastal Division and has looked good early on. And then you have Duke, which, of course, a rivalry game, and the Blue Devils have looked good early with wins over Temple, a real dominant win there, and then held on for a victory on the road against Northwestern. And so those are good tests. And so Carolina is going to get the opportunity to see what kind of progress it has made and will make over these next couple of weeks, because there are no gimmies on that schedule, and there's also no game, as you said, that you go into and go, man, Carolina's going to have to play way above its head to have a chance to win. That's just not the case. Carolina can win every one of these games, and they can lose every one of them. And that's in that tank, though. That's kind of what college football is now. Outside of Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson and Georgia and maybe one or two others, everybody else is so similar. And there's obviously going to be some that are a little lower and some that are a little higher, but not dramatically. And so it really is such a week-to-week thing right now, I think, in this sport, that Carolina understands that it has a chance every single week to do something. And that's why they're never going to apologize for winning these games. And whether you win by 2 or you win by 102, you are so far, if you're Carolina, you've accomplished the goal. And that's win 3 consecutive times, and they'll try to keep doing that as they move forward.
Mm-hmm. A win is a win is a win, as they say, and that adds up to 3-0 for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Drake May continues to kind of set the world on fire here. Coming up in the next hour, Jeremy and I do a daily draft where we draft various things day to day. Today we're going to do college quarterbacks because there was a CBS quarterback power ranking that they put out today, and they had Drake May as the 4th most powerful, I guess, quarterback in all of college football. The hype has already begun because the stats have looked amazing.
Yeah, they have. And you know what I thought was actually good, Tank, was that I thought the Georgia State game was the least comfortable Drake May has looked this season, and that is because the Georgia State was able to get pressure on him. And Georgia State's a good defensive team, and they're aggressive defensively, and I think it's easy to forget that was Drake May's 3rd start at the college level. And so he was seeing some things and feeling some things that hadn't happened yet at the college level, and yet he still responded very positively. He had his first interception of the year, but for the most part was smart with the ball, made some good throws. He had a couple terrific throws in the ball game, just individual, just high talent throws. He made good decisions. And were there times where I thought for the first time it looked like he felt pressure a little bit? Yeah. But then he bounced right back from it and continued to perform. And so that just goes in the bank of experiences of things that he now has felt, has experienced, has seen. That's only going to make him better as he moves forward. And so, he is uber talented. He has really done a good job here early in this season, and he just hasn't let anything get too big for him. And I think that's been really impressive. And, he made a throw, the touchdown throw to Kobe Paysour, was a really good one. He had a throw to Gavin Blackwell where Blackwell was originally called out of bounds, and then they reviewed it and said that he was inbounds. That was, just a rainbow over top of the defense on the short half of the field. And it was just a big time throw. And so you see things like that, and you understand that it was just his 3rd start. That's exciting to think about for Drake May and Carolina at that position.
And especially when he gets his biggest weapon back in Josh Downs, you can only imagine how the stats are going to look. What is the latest on Downs?
Yeah, and before I answer that, think about how valuable this has been for Carolina. You never want to not have Josh Downs, right? The Tar Heels are always better when Josh Downs is there compared to not there. But this has allowed you to see, hey, Kobe Paysour can play. He's somebody that really has responded. Hey, Gavin Blackwell has played really well. Hey, these tight ends are legitimate threats. And so you see all that in practice, of course, But then some guys, things change when the lights turn on. And so to see these players excel in game action, I think has been really exciting. So when Downs does return, just how much deeper and more threatening does that Carolina offense become? Now, to answer your question, there's been no official update on Josh Downs. Carolina's been pretty quiet media-wise this week with the bye week this weekend. Carolina is not going to push Josh Downs out there too early. At the same time, they do not consider his lower body injury one that is going to be a long-term injury. I think the hope is that he is going to return for the Notre Dame game. I think that will not be officially announced, would be my guess, Tank, until either day of or day before, right in that range before the game against the Irish. And he was not the only player missing. Spencer Rolland, the starting right tackle, Caleb Hood, who had that really good game against Appalachian, he and is in that rotation at running back. He was unable to go. And, of course, Antoine Green's still recovering from his injury that he suffered in training camp. And I think the hope is that all of those guys are available sooner rather than later, whether that is Notre Dame or the next week. I can't tell you for sure right now, but Carolina does anticipate all of those players being back in the near future to help them out on the field.
Coming up, the next game for the Tar Heels is next weekend. Notre Dame. It's a 3:30 kick. You will hear it right here on ESPN Asheville, as you hear every football and basketball game throughout the season. It's almost time to start talking about basketball. Had the blue-white game the other day?
Yeah, Todd, I had a chance to talk to Hubert Davis earlier this week. In fact, he'll be the guest on our podcast coming out tomorrow, the Carolina Insider, and Coach Davis fired up, excited. He's got the newly branded version of Late Night, which is now called Live Action with Carolina Basketball. That's coming up on September 30th, the day before the Virginia Tech game in Chapel Hill. Then the Tar Heels actually have an exhibition game in late October 28th. So pretty early for them to have their exhibition against Johnson C. Smith, and then they're tipping off on November 7th. So not that far away, Tank, about 6-7 weeks before that season gets going with regulation games. And obviously the schedule came out this week. That's a bear. Tar Heels have a really difficult both conference and non-conference slate, but this is a team that can handle that. It's an experienced team. It's a talented team, and it is one that will certainly be tested as it goes through the year.
Expectations obviously high after making that trip to the national championship game this past season. We will, of course, have more coverage with you, Jones, coming up as we get closer to the tip-off of basketball season. Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. We will talk to you next week, man.
Sounds good, Tank. Talk to you next week.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slows approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 eastbound slow near Porter's Cove Road. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound near Fletcher. Delays between Old Airport Road and Fanning Bridge Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound is slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer is winding down, but business needs keep ramping up. Check out Indeed, the all-in-one hiring solution that helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Hurry into the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy-efficient appliances. You can also save with the Smart Thermostat. Right now, select Google Nest Learning Thermostats are $60 off. Plus, find other great energy-saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Ingles studio, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Green. And, one of us is a fan of a team that used to be one of the big powers in college football. And you've just been chasing your tail, trying to get back to that level, as a lot of programs are.
There have been a slew of programs in college football that were big boys. Mm-hmm. One of them we saw fire a coach earlier this week.
Yeah, for Nebraska.
And that's the one that I look at and go, I don't know that you're ever going to revisit the glory days. There are a handful, though, that this weekend's going to be pretty telling for. Mm-hmm. Because there are a couple that are playing games. I'm not going to say you would usually lose these, but over the last few years, these are the kind of trap games that you have lost.
Right.
No reason to lose them, and you do. And then there's another that could make a statement. It's a little diminished, but it's still a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And three of them are in the same state.
Right. You don't always have to have that a number one, we just knocked off the number one team in the country kind of a comeback game to realize that progress is being made toward the ultimate goal. You can show up well against, just a hot team right now, like a BYU.
And in large part, that's not what tells you a team is back. Usually this is a game that we would have lost during the downtime.
Mm-hmm.
There's another SEC school that's reasonably close to here. They just had a good one a week ago. Game they would have lost. After the break, we're going to talk about that, talk about them, and which ones are actually back and which ones might be a little fool's gold.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I cannot stop talking about the PhD weight loss program because I have now lost over 90 pounds since last Thanksgiving. We've been on this program for quite a while now, and following their dietary guidelines, they're teaching us better nutrition. I'm getting more active now because of the weight loss. I mean, over 92 pounds. I mean, that is like a grown child.
I've long said it was 7 fully grown fat babies and 4 stuffed backpacks. This time last year, had gotten to one of my heaviest weights of my life. I stepped on a scale and saw 310 pounds, and I freaked out a little bit. Yeah, I'm 6'5". Yeah, I carry it well, but that's too heavy. It was having an effect on my health, and thanks to the program and plan of PhD weight loss, I'm back to my high school weight. I'm back to 250 pounds. I feel great. It's all thanks to PhD.
They have the plan to show you how to collapse that visceral fat in your body, see results like you've never seen with any other program. I'm doing things now that I haven't been able to do in years. I'm walking 5Ks. I'm riding roller coasters again, and who knows, next time I get on an airplane, maybe the seatbelt will actually fit. You want to see the best results you've ever seen before? Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction and become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 eastbound slowing between the French Broad River and Airport Road. 26 westbound slows west of Chimney Rock Road and continues to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 eastbound near Porter's Cove Road, traffic is slowing. 40 westbound stop and go between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road, north and southbound, near Fanning Bridge Road, delays. Hendersonville Road, northbound, again slow, approaching Long Shoals Road. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. And Bavard Road, north and southbound, between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer days getting shorter and business to-do lists getting longer? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates, all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And yep, it is time. It's time to get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
I know how much, Jeremy, you love Hall of Fame talk.
Oh,
Hall
God,
of Fame
I can't get enough of it.
Like, GOAT talk and Hall of Fame talk is all Jeremy. I mean, he thrives on it. Just absolutely loves it.
Especially when it's baseball's Hall of Fame, which is just absolutely the stupidest thing on the planet Earth.
Well, here's a Hall of Fame that I think you might care less about than baseball.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I care less about that.
This is a Hall of Fame I didn't even know existed until today. It's the Toy Hall of Fame. Did you know there was a Toy Hall of Fame?
No, I didn't.
Didn't know this at all. The National Toy Hall of Fame has announced that they have their finalists for the 2022 class. And there's just some interesting ones on here that make me go, how is this not already in the Toy Hall of Fame? One of them is the greatest toys of my childhood. It's the Masters of the Universe. It's the He-Man toys. Who didn't have He-Man growing up in our... Stop that. You're not old enough for He-Man. He-Man was the greatest action figure ever made. It was unlike any other out there because it was soft. It had the big muscles on all of the figures. It was great. It was wonderful. Nerf. How is Nerf not already in the Hall of Fame? They're one of the finalists for this year's class. Pound Puppies, very popular back in the 1980s, as well on this list. The Light Bright, the Spirograph. Jeremy doesn't do toys. He didn't even have a childhood. He went straight to gambling when he was 4. So toys
heaters
are not
and
his
domestic
thing.
lights. That was at 6, I think.
The list is all going to be voted on online. September 21st is the deadline to vote on this year's class of the Hall of Fame. The weirdest part of this, though, is last year's class, last year's honorees, American Girl dolls, the board game Risk, and Sand. Yep, Sand. Sand was one of the choices last year for the Toy Hall of Fame.
When did Cardboard Box get? When did that get put in?
That was a few years ago, actually.
I was totally joking.
You were totally joking, but that's also where I'm headed with this. So the National Toy Hall of Fame says that toys that make it into the Hall of Fame, they had to be some kind of a groundbreaking thing. There had to be an element to it that had never been experienced before, or it changed the entire game of toys for the future. Other things that are in the Hall of Fame currently, there are 77 toys that have been inducted already. Among the favorites, paper airplanes, bubbles, sidewalk chalk, and sticks and cardboard boxes. Those are all things that are already in the National Toy Hall of Fame. Yikes. Tell me your Hall of Fame is irrelevant.
And you think I didn't have a childhood just because I played with baby's first parlay.
At least you weren't out playing with sticks. Is that what you're saying?
Look, I was that kid, and we all knew that kid, that your hands got dirty and you just went, no, I don't. That was
right.
me.
Yeah, right.
That was me. I need a little musical underlay for this.
Okay.
You know what I'm looking for with game day coming to Boone.
Oh.
Appalachian State students have a major incentive to get creative with their college game day signs. Mountaineers host Troy this Saturday, and College Game Day will be making their first appearance in Boone, North Carolina, with our buddy playing behind me, Luke Combs. Well, that's not the only thing that's coming to Boone. Well-known part of game day, the signs.
Yes.
Well, Appalachian State University has put an incentive on this. They're giving free tuition to a year for whoever gives the best sign on College Game Day.
A year?
For a year.
That's awesome.
$8,000 for in-state students, $23,000 if you're an out-of-state student.
That's awesome.
For the best sign. And I'm not going to lie. First of all, degree didn't happen for me. Wasn't the best student. Who's shocked? I feel like I can come up with the best sign humanly possible, and Boone is not that far away.
Mm-hmm. So are you angling for tuition here, or
No.
are you pitching it to do somebody else's sign?
I don't know. I don't know what even if I wanted, I don't know what I would do with it because I'm not going back to school.
Right.
You're going to give me an honorary doctorate, we can talk about that, but
will the winner of the sign contest have a sign that plays on the whole Texas A&M hillbilly school thing?
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt. If
No
you
doubt.
haven't seen the Midnight Yell video from Texas A&M where they were
the
talking,
worst.
oh God.
You want to tell us something that makes you look as unlikable as humanly possible? And then the fact that you got smoked.
Pushed around. Yeah, you got bullied.
That score does not show how that game was. You got smoked. To the point of game day went, oh, yeah, we got to go there now.
Yeah.
We got to go there now.
And you got the Texas A&M students out there trying to, whip up the crowd and talking about the, school from nowhere and just Hickville, USA. And I'm wow.
You know what, Hickville, USA? You know what we do in Hickville, USA? Oh, it's such a great song.
It is a great
song.
song.
I wanted to sing that song. I know you got concerts on both sides. Pat McAfee and Luke Combs are going to be in the same place. I have to be there.
Saturday.
Physically, there's no place on the planet Earth that I should more be than with my two favorite people on the planet.
That's right. That's right. Saturday, game day will be in Boone for Appalachian State and Troy. Appalachian State, like I said, with Jones Angell at the top of the hour. Who would have thought 3 weeks into the season, that's the team we're talking about?
It's incredible. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for the environment in Boone. I am resisting every urge to go. I'm telling you right now, 7 o'clock Saturday morning might roll around. Frankly, after this show tomorrow night, I might just go, college was fun, and it's been a minute, so let's go to West Virginia South and just have us nary a good old time.
Yeah, you should absolutely go. I'm rooting for you. I would go, but my schedule's kind of full on Saturday. I'll be in Bristol for the night race, and I got to rest up for that.
Well,
we all know I go to bed at 8 o'clock every night. So,
you put two West Virginia fellers in Boone.
Oh,
look, Boone's great. My best friend graduated from App State. I've been there many times. We'll put some West Virginia in Boone, and we'll teach you what burning a couch is about.
There you go. They already do that in Boone, don't they?
Not like we do. West Virginia Willie, I need you to chime in here. Nobody does it like we do.
Nobody does it like you do. Okay, all right, good deal. Good deal. All right.
That's what I should do. Put a burning couch on the back of a trailer and just ride in wearing a crown.
Right.
That sounds like
Chuck
something
G asked in the comments, is Tank your third favorite person? No. I'm not Jeremy's third favorite person.
I mean, he's in the top
25, maybe?
We'll go with 25. That wasn't necessarily.
Do I get an also receiving votes?
That wasn't necessarily the number I was going to say, but we could put it there. That's.
Yeah, no, I can't be third. Obviously, number 3 has to be
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
I was going to say Hot Wife Amy.
She's the guaranteed number 1. See, my wife doesn't listen to the show. B, she would not expect. She's the all-time winner. All right, she's like all-time quarterback when you were 6.
Yep. I'm not doing the road trip Boone to Bristol. I can't take all of that in one day, so I'm sorry, West Virginia or Chuck G. I can't make that happen.
Oh, I can make it happen.
I've always wanted to go to game day, though. It's one of the things that's like on a bucket list. Like at some point, I'm gonna go to a college game day.
Now I'm trying to think of how I would adorn myself for game day.
You would totally be the guy who slathers himself in mayonnaise.
Oh, no. No, that sounds god-awful. I don't even like putting olive oil on a baked potato because I might accidentally get it on my hands. No, that's not how that would go. I'm thinking full Nature Boy Ric Flair robe. I'm thinking $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase get up, or the one that makes just unequivocally the most sense, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ah, Macho Man.
Macho Man's that's the right call.
Yeah, especially if you could find, the full, like the hat and the jacket and all of that in like App State colors. That would be the way to go.
Eric Miller just got right. Eric Miller just got right because of the Rebel Yell thing, where they said it was a bunch of hicks out in the middle of nowhere.
Hick Flair.
It's Hick Flair.
Yeah.
That's the right call. It's Hick Flair. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, that is the right call.
You got no other plans on Saturday that I know of?
I mean, I do, but I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Well, Appalachian State is the darling. They are the darling of college football right now. Everybody's talking about them. After the 63-61, almost comeback 40-point rally against the Tar Heels 2 weeks ago, then going to Kyle Field and beating Texas A&M, they are the darling, the talk of college football. But also, Texas. Since we're on this whole, they were down and now they're trying to come back kind of thing, like last week was Texas for me. That was my holy cow, Texas is back moment. And I feel like that's what all these, there are so many other teams in college football trying to chase that right now.
Well, the thing with Texas, they had the opportunity, and they didn't do it the way you would have thought. They had the signature game. Not everybody gets a chance at that.
True.
Not everybody gets to play Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State. Texas came in, home game, and the defense flew around. That narrative is going to stick with them for a long time because that defense was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it wore out at the end because they just couldn't move the ball. I look at this weekend for Miami. You can make a statement this weekend because your first 2 games of the year have not been overly impressive. The first one was against Bethune-Cookman, so the fact that you scored 70 is kind of irrelevant. They struggled with Southern Miss for a half. And I feel like that's moved that number. The number on Texas A&M Miami is 6.5, and that is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M should not be a 7-point favorite on any Power 5 school. As long as Haynes King, what did Patrick call it? Big helmet? I don't know what.
Big helmet.
I don't know what that's from, but.
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet. It's from Spaceballs.
Yeah, I've never seen it. But he showed the picture, and when I looked at Haynes King, I went, oh, yep, that's an apt statement.
Mm-hmm.
Miami has a chance to make a statement. And next week, you have a game between Tennessee and Florida where one of those teams is going to make a statement.
But is it that opportunity for Miami to make as big of a statement with Texas A&M coming off the loss?
Still on the road, I don't care. Still on the road with a team that was a preseason top 10. Now, to make that statement, you're going to have to go in and dog them.
Oh, yeah, you got to shellac them.
And I think they can. It's funny for me looking around at all these programs because I feel like it's almost tiered of these rebuilding programs. I feel like Florida's 2 years away. I feel like Tennessee's a year away. Miami, you're pretty much right in the sweet spot of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go into Texas A&M and lose, all that built-up good graces with Mario Cristobal in it, gone. All gone.
Yep.
Florida State, you lose to Louisville tomorrow night with a whiteout.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go, ooh, look, we're doing custom jerseys, which Florida State has never done. They did the Unconquered thing 2 or 3 times. This is the first time they've ever worn a white helmet in university history.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lose to Louisville. If you do, Mike Norvell might as well clean out his office on Saturday morning.
Just done like dinner.
What are you going to do? This was basically your way of saying we're going to be 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be 3-0. We're whiting out Doak. It's going to be a madhouse. And then you lose. You know who did that a bunch of times? Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, you felt like they were back. The talent was getting there, whether it was with Butch Jones or Lane Kiffin. And then what happens? You get that opportunity to play somebody, and you just piddle in your pants.
Right. I feel like Penn State's done that several times as well.
I never felt like Penn State was back. They never had the talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee is back. That team is good. You just went into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh. I do not care that they didn't have their quarterback. Keaton Slovis is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
You beat a very talented team in their place. Their de facto place.
Right.
The artist formerly known as Heinz Field.
Right.
That's a statement win.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee beats Florida next week. Okay. Now we're talking about you as a legitimate big boy.
Yeah, as a legitimate threat to the East.
Because then you start looking at the way you recruit. Even just getting to that point, having those statement wins, that's what happened to all of these teams. Whether you're talking about Nebraska, Miami, Florida, Florida State, Tennessee, Texas, they never showed up in these games. You would get them, and maybe game day shows up, and you've won a couple games against smaller schools, and is this the year? And then you build them up, and they get it 42-10. Oh, that's where we're at. That's what can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, it's Miami and Florida State. Next week, it's Tennessee and Florida.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is stop and go approaching Hendersonville Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and Airport Road. 40 westbound crawling between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is also slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road north and southbound stop and go, both directions approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. And again, Bavard Road north and southbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer days getting shorter and business to-do lists getting longer? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Now, looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
The Iheartradio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
You spend the first hour of your vacation at the luggage carousel thinking there's nowhere to go but up. But there is a place to go but up, because when you open your suitcase, you find it filled with dolls. Dolls like the ones in that movie that scared you so much you wet your girlfriend's bed. Ah, Marissa, the one that got away. You return the bag to the airport with relief. It lasts until you get back to your room, where a fallen doll waits to greet you.
Don't let a suitcase full of dolls ruin your vacation. Go on a real vacation. GoRVing.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
It is week 3 of college football, and it all starts tomorrow night. Florida State, Louisville. That's the primetime matchup. Of course, ACC fans will be tuning in for that game.
I'll be tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Louisville, by the way. We're whiting out Cardinal Stadium, which if we show up more than if you see a lot of white in Louisville, you know that Florida State fans are buying into this way more than they should be.
Right. Well, I mean, it's intoxicating when you get the opportunity to make some kind of a statement early in the season. And obviously, Florida State feels like they got a good chance of doing that against Louisville. But you look at this week's slate, and I don't feel like there are a whole lot of quote-unquote statement games that can happen. We already talked about Miami and Texas A&M, but even that I feel like is going to be a little muted because, well, of course Miami just beat Texas A&M. They just lost to Appalachian State.
Well, Vegas does not feel that way because Texas A&M's a 6-point favorite, which is really hard for me to wrap my brain around.
How? They can't score.
I don't know.
Right.
I cannot for the life of me figure it out.
You got Tyler Van Dyke coming into town. And granted, Xavier Restrepo, his leading wide receiver, is not going to be playing in the game. But I still like for them to put up points and win the game. But the only other real big ranked game that you have is Baylor and Oregon. I mean, BYU and Oregon.
BYU-Oregon will be fun.
And are you going to learn anything, though? Because Oregon, I mean, woo, we put up 70 points last week against Sacramento State or whoever the hell it was they played.
Yeah, that's not the side of that I'm looking to learn something on. There is one, and obviously bangers will be tomorrow, and one I'm going to tell you, I've been swayed.
Okay.
There is a game, you're going to tell me I'm out of my mind, which you did with the Fighting Mike Houstons in week 1 against NC State.
I did.
You did it in week 2 with Appalachian State.
I did.
You're going to tell me I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's an 11-point dog at home against Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure they don't win this game
You're
outright.
Crazy. Stop that.
Hear me out.
All right.
First of all, Oklahoma, not very good. You were up 7-3 on Kent State at home. The Brent Venables effect, I'm telling you, it has already taken over. Vegas sees it. You'll see it soon enough.
Okay.
You're underselling one thing. The fired coach bump. It happens every single time. Scott Frost gets fired. They promote the loyal, long-time assistant that everybody just loves because he's country's cornbread. We all just believe in him. We'd run through a wall for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that Nebraska's not talented. Nobody ever said they weren't talented. How much of the money do you think's on Nebraska? 11-point dog. 57% of the tickets are on Oklahoma.
42%.
69.
Wow.
Is on Nebraska.
Well, when the public goes one way.
Oh, that's not enough of the public.
Oh, okay.
When the public goes one way is when you're seeing 85%.
Okay.
And trust me, there are a couple of those in the bangers tomorrow.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the Sports Center update here at the top of the hour, we will have the daily draft for you talking college quarterbacks.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction, become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving is slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is stop and go approaching Hendersonville Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and Airport Road. 40 westbound crawling between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road northbound is also slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road north and southbound stop and go, both directions approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road.
This report is paid for by North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We all share the responsibility to make sure North Carolina roads are safe for everyone. We can reduce the number of people hit or killed by vehicles. Visit watchformenc.org for more safety tips.
Paid for by NCDOT.
It's summertime. Just like reapplying sunscreen helps continue protection against the sun, a booster shot can help enhance protection against COVID-19 after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and Iheartradio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Chargers and Chiefs tonight at Arrowhead, the first game of Week 2 in the NFL. Chargers wideout Keenan Allen out for this one with a sore hamstring. ESPN's Diana Rossini.
They do like their weapons. They do. So this isn't a situation where they're panicking. But let's just face the reality here. When you don't have your top receiver, the guy that the offense runs through, you're immediately at a disadvantage.
Diana Rossini on Get Up. Seahawks safety Jamal Adams will likely miss the rest of the season. He needs surgery for a left quad injury. Wideout Xavier Restrepo is out for 13th-ranked Miami's game at number 24 Texas A&M Saturday. Restrepo out indefinitely with a foot injury. Roger Federer announces on social today he's retiring from the tennis tour after next week's Laver Cup. Federer is 41. He holds 20 Grand Slam titles, third on the men's all-time list behind Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. He had knee surgery about a month ago. He hasn't played since Wimbledon of 2021.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're always coming to you live from the Ingles studio. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the Iheartradio app. And you can listen absolutely free and take us with you everywhere you go. Also, YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. You can watch the show as well as hear us on Iheartradio and the terrestrial signals.
And in our YouTube comments, I think Eric Miller just had the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
Jeremy, great idea for Hick Flair. You need a full flannel robe with duck feathers on it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Beautiful. Also, camo pants, but they need to be hemmed to look like suit pants.
Okay.
And then, of course, the aviators, which I already have covered because that's all I wear.
Interesting.
This could become full-on gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about dyeing my hair, but I don't think you have to.
I don't think you need to go that far.
I don't think you have to. I don't think that plays into the shtick. The fact my hair and my beard are different colors, I almost feel like that plays into it.
The whole hick thing. Although you leave the beard the natural color, and you just go jet or blonde, platinum blonde with the locks. I think that'd be brilliant. Kind of the Hollywood Hulk Hogan kind of look.
Oh, this could get so gross. And things like this, I absolutely love. So
taking your suggestions on how to make hick flair even hickier.
Oh, I mean, there has to be a Goodwill trip involved in this somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. You don't shop anywhere else.
I mean, frankly, I feel like all of it has to be done at a Goodwill.
Yes.
I also feel like there needs to be a hat of some kind, but I don't know what kind.
I was thinking hat as well, but I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, do you go trucker hat? I'll let you borrow my Georgia hat if you want.
No, this is hick flair, not guy that works at the corner gas station.
Oh, stop that.
Not Billy that works on your truck. Not really where I was headed. Although it kind of is now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it is. It's 100% where you were headed. Hick flair.
All of your best, the Hillbilly Jim hat.
Yeah, but
that'd be hard to find.
That plays too much into I don't know.
Plays too much into what?
There's not a hillbilly that actually wears that hat.
Oh, no.
That's like a 1940s throwback.
No, see, in my opinion, all right, here's where my thought is with this, and then we'll get into the daily draft. This character needs to be dressed as someone like me that's going out trying to make an impression.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mountaineer that is attempting to make a first impression on a Tinder date. That's my thought.
Okay. All right. So you've got the robe.
Oh, no doubt.
You've got the flannel robe.
No doubt.
With the duck feathers. Ric Flair was always about the suits. He's wearing his nicest suits. So what? The George polo that you bought at Walmart is?
Oh no, I can do something with a suit.
My
suit game is strong.
Explain to me, hick suit.
I don't know. I heard suit and got excited.
It's overalls.
Oh yeah, there's you know what? There's a lot of things to do here. If the jacket is not a denim jacket, I feel like you did it wrong.
You got overalls, possum shoes.
Can you make shoes out of a squirrel? Is that physically possible?
100%.
And is there a squirrel on the planet Earth big enough for me to wear it as a shoe?
If you were going to go hat, would you go coonskin cap?
No, that ties into the West Virginia thing.
I was going to say that's more of a West Virginia thing.
There's something there. Suit jacket with the sleeves ripped off.
See, this is why we have you guys around.
It's beautiful.
With the overalls underneath.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, the overalls are going to be under the jacket. There is no doubt about that. And, this is going to get gnarly.
Can't wait to see it.
This is going to be my morning, I hope. Tomorrow morning, I'm telling you right now, everybody's going to think I'm coming to work at the normal time, and I'm going to show up looking like Jethro Bodine by the time I get here.
Oh, God, I hope that happens. I hope that happens so much. It's going to be great. Going to be great. Keep the comments coming in the YouTube stream. Don't forget to check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Subscribe to the channel so you can get your hick flair wardrobe recommendations in there now. Because Jeremy really wants to try to pull this off.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more I want to do it.
You should, man. There's nothing holding you back. Just like Drake May. There's nothing holding Drake May back. The sky is the limit for this kid as a quarterback, and already 3 games into his college starting career with the North Carolina Tar Heels, there was a power ranking of college quarterbacks on CBS.com earlier today. They unleashed it. Number 1, Bryce Young. Number 2, C.J. Stroud. Number 3, Caleb Williams. And at number 4, Drake May. One of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, just 3 games in. And Jeremy thinks that's astronomically stupid.
That is the most insane thing I believe I've ever heard in my life.
Why?
Because you have 2 wins, one of which is over Georgia State. 3 wins. One of which is over Georgia State. Another is over Florida A&M. All right, yeah, you beat App State. Good for you.
Right.
Good for you.
But it's the fashion in which he's doing it. He's done 2 of those without his star wide receiver, who's going to be a first-round pick in the next NFL draft. I don't think there's any question about that. Josh Downs will go in the first round of the next draft. And he's still doing it. And he's putting up massive numbers. And that's why he's getting this kind of love this early in his career. Is it too soon? Sure. Sure it is.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt. But this gave us the idea we're going to do this list for ourselves in the daily draft.
That's right. Daily draft time here in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy and I pitting our wits against each other to take the best class of quarterbacks.
And now this has nothing to do with their NFL draft. This is if we had to go win a college football game right now.
Yes.
What would be our top 10 of quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you the first pick.
You're going to give me first pick?
Because I'm just a nice guy like
that. Well,
that.
I appreciate that.
Mainly because it's been 2 days since we did one of these, and I don't even remember what the last one was.
Well, with the number 1 pick in today's daily draft, I will take, there is such a thing in the broadcasting business as called taking the layup. When a story comes about that's the talk of the town, take the layup. Don't do your show prep too much. It's Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, and he did that. I think people forget. He's only played a year. Granted, he's on the best team in the country, but still, he was the Heisman Trophy winner last year. I think he'll be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Bryce Young has to be your go-to. If I'm starting a quarterback, that's who I want.
And I'll be honest with you, he would not have been my number 1.
Why?
It's not a slight at him. There's just somebody that if I had to win one game, I'm going with this kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's Caleb Williams, USC. Now, I understand he has ridiculous weapons now. He's putting up video game numbers at USC, and he's going to continue to.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman. You mark my words. Nobody will come close to USC. You remember when I told you this 3 months ago?
Yes.
And I said the one game that could hang them up is Notre Dame, second best team on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks in, second best team on their schedule. The team that just got boat raced by Marshall. Don't throw me the score. I watched it. It was ugly.
Right.
Caleb Williams would be my 1. He is a cheat code. Now, I have to take another one.
Mm-hmm.
And you said take the layup?
Yep.
I'll take the layup. C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud.
A lot of people probably think he should be 2. There's been some inconsistency with him that makes me a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't take anybody above him.
No. It's the layup. It is the layup. C.J. Stroud will probably end up being the second quarterback to come off the board in this upcoming NFL draft. Those of you with Anthony Richardson in the top 2 of your quarterback prospects, stop it.
Stop that.
Yeah. Although, he may come up in this conversation because we're just talking college quarterbacks, and he is probably one of the most difficult guys to game plan against in all of college football. Okay, so my turn in the daily draft here as we're taking the best quarterbacks, or if you had a quarterback to win a game in college football, who are the quarterbacks that you would take?
How is one of yours going to be Stetson Bennett?
And it's not time for that just yet.
I feel like you say that, and then you're going to do it.
You know what? Screw it. I'm doing it. Give me Stetson Bennett. Old cowboy hat Bennett. He is the reigning national champion. And look, I have talked crap about Stetson Bennett. I didn't think he should have started for Georgia last year. I always thought the more talented quarterback was JT Daniels. But the one thing that I did not give him enough credit for that I think we're continuing to see is
he's a winner.
He's so damn efficient. He knows he knows the plays. He knows where his wide receivers are going to be on any given play. It's almost like he's got that, and dare I say, but that Tom Brady mentality of, I know what the defense is showing me. He's super smart, and he knows exactly what player to pick on at the right moment. Does he have elite weapons? I don't really think so. I mean, at the tight end position, sure.
He's got 3 of the 5 best tight ends in the country.
No doubt. Tight ends, got it in spades. But when it comes to the wide receivers, I mean, they're fine. I mean, Kearis Jackson's a dude, and, but he doesn't have, a Marvin Mims. He doesn't have one of the top wide receivers in college football right now. But he's still terribly efficient. And if there is a guy that's going to, you need to go out and win a game, I don't need you to put up 400 yards. I need you to win me the game. And nobody does it in college football like Stetson Bennett. So, okay.
Hashtag no
fine.
homer.
No homer. No homer. And then I think I'm going to take Will Levis from Kentucky.
I did not see you doing that.
A guy who, I mean, he can show you a lot of things. And I said this the other day about Kentucky. That's a team that most people expect run the football, play good defense. Will Levis is a talented quarterback.
Yeah, we put out our with us being off yesterday, we did my volume 2 of the Never Too Early 2023 NFL mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
And there were several comments about Will Levis. Look, is he going to put up mind-boggling stats in college? No. Because that's a run-first team that plays good defense, controls the clock, and that's how they beat you. In terms of sheer, raw talent, he is what you're sold that Anthony Richardson is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this yesterday. Anthony Richardson's probably going to go in the top 15 when he comes out because of sheer raw talent. And he's not in the stratosphere of a Will Levis to me. So, I mean, I can't fault you for that pick.
Yeah. When Will Levis came to Kentucky, this team was averaging about 120 yards passing every game. He's doubled it just with his presence. And I feel like that's saying something for a coach that he wants to run the football, play good defense. He has put more of the game in this quarterback's hands, and it should tell you everything you need to know.
Absolutely. That means I have 2 picks back-to-back. One of them is abundantly clear to me. So I'm going to do that one second.
Spencer Rattler.
Stop.
Totally.
The one this one may shock you. It's Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
Just a question. In terms of quarterback efficiency, last year, that's before he started before anything that's happened this year. How many quarterbacks in America were more efficient than Hendon Hooker last year with Josh Heupel?
5.
It's 2.
Really?
C.J. Stroud and Grayson McCall. That's it. And McCall's level of competition kind of comes into play there.
100%.
This is just one of those things that you get a reputation in your head of what we saw at Virginia Tech where he just never threw. Now he goes to Tennessee, he's in this pass-happy offense, and people are stuck in he's just a running quarterback. No, he is not. No, he is not.
I mean, he is. He does that.
He is a very good running quarterback,
right.
But that's not all he does. Now, we're up against a commercial break. There's another player I feel really good about after the break. Tell you who it is.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue due to an accident. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Traffic is very busy. 26 westbound slows between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slowing between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound crawling between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Bavard Road north and southbound stop and go between between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Avery Creek area. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound and southbound slow in the Fletcher area approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road northbound slow between Royal...
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The internet loves Mexican pizza so much, Taco Bell made a musical about it. Catch the show on TikTok. But first, pick up or get your own Mexican pizza delivered from a participating U.S. Taco Bell location. While supplies last, contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
The pros at Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning will help you breathe easier again in your own home. Right now, when you mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Attention! It's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
Moving forward is the only thing that you can expect from a guy like Drake May, the new quarterback for the North Carolina Tar Heels, who spurred this whole idea of today's daily draft, of drafting the top college quarterbacks in the nation, because CBS did a power ranking of the quarterbacks as it stands right now, 3 weeks into the season. And Drake May is fourth behind the Heisman frontrunners: Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Caleb Williams. Jeremy thinks that's dumb. I think
it's just an overreaction.
I think it's an overreaction. I obviously like the kid.
I like the kid.
Very attached to the North Carolina program, and I think he's going to be great. But this is a little too much too soon. Might be, this is something that I would expect out of, I don't know, a guy like Tank Spencer, who would make a list like this and go, I'm just immediately in love with this kid. He's one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. 3 games in, despite the fact that you haven't played a legitimate contender. If you'd have done this against Georgia or Alabama, one of the top defensive teams in the country, I would expect this kind of reaction. But you've done it against Florida A&M and Appalachian State and Georgia State.
It's ironic you said that. If you had done it against Georgia or Alabama, I feel like somebody did just do that. Oh, yeah, my next pick, Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
Mulleted man. You had to know I was doing it.
Mm-hmm. You saw enough in the quarter and a half or whatever it was that he played.
Name me another quarterback that smoked Alabama like that in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked them. Knew exactly what they were doing.
I mean, Stetson Bennett is the only one that comes to mind.
He didn't do it like that. He grinded them out. He didn't come out and just go full air raid.
Right.
Mike Leach is calling plays today. Let's go. I think Quinn Ewers is a dog.
Mm-hmm. All of the concerns that everybody had of him coming into the season of, well, we haven't seen him do it on the field yet, was pretty much erased. And then, unfortunately, he had the shoulder injury, and now he's going to be gone for, 6 weeks?
That's about right, yeah.
So, Quinn Ewers. All right, so far in the daily draft, you've got Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, Hendon Hooker, and Quinn Ewers. So far, I got Bryce Young, Stetson Bennett, and Will Levis.
I'm pretty sure that I could draft Pee Wee Herman and myself with the last 2 picks, and I still win this.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Satisfied Browns fan said Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. Case and point. Quarterbacks that have torched Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah, Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's the 2 answers. I like being in that company.
You like the trajectory here for Quinn Ewers?
Oh, I've said if I was Arch Manning, I would be terrified of that mulleted man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's going to look that good, then there may be an actual competition next year.
Oh, I'm on record as saying I don't think Arch Manning shows up at Texas.
Oh, he switches?
Why in the world would I go sit behind him for a year? I can go to Georgia and start immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to Alabama and start immediately.
Yes, you can. Kirby, get on the phone right now. Bring me Arch Manning. I will be one very happy individual. We are, and in drafting these quarterbacks, the question on the table is not who's got the best, who's got the best pro potential, who's going to get drafted in the first round. This is if you had to win a game, who are you taking? And I want to go with one of these quarterbacks who's had massive numbers from a smaller conference, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's the level of competition. Like you mentioned Grayson McCall. I mean, he's a really good Sun Belt quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But can he be that on a national scale? Like if
he had gone to a bigger school.
Right, I'm random school, and we're playing Alabama. Was Grayson McCall the one that I think can come in and make me competitive against them? I just don't know that is the case. But there is one guy that I look at and go, I don't know that I've seen you at your absolute best yet, but there's a lot of hype around you right now, and it's Tyler Van Dyke. I feel like he gets better every game.
He does. I mean, in his coming out parties this weekend. Because if I hear the stat that Texas A&M's allowed 119 passing yards to Sam Houston State and Chase Bryce, little bit different here, and you lost one of those two.
Yep, and Van Dyke has an arm like few have in the entire country.
Plus, he's mobile. He does all the things. I like Tyler Van Dyke a lot. Now, I will say I like him. He's kind of in that Will Levis boat for me. I like him better as a pro prospect than I like him in college.
Mm-hmm. And then for the final selection for me in the daily draft today, I said the thing I said about lower level school guys, but there's also there's one kid that I have seen play pretty good. Granted, it's against West Coast competition, and we all know what West Coast football is, but he goes to a lesser school, and it's Jake Haener. Something about that kid I really, really like.
I mean, I get it. I think you're going to see this weekend against USC Yeah, you're not on the level of these other guys.
Hey, maybe he can't keep up, but is that because Fresno State just doesn't have the weapons to keep up with a team like USC on the scoreboard?
I mean, that obviously hurts, but there's a lot that goes into this. Oregon State, you just lost a game that you absolutely had no reason to lose, and I could drop a lot of it on Jake Haener because he couldn't manage the clock. He's not a bad player. He's now in terms of, we're not talking about NFL draft stock here, but he's one of those I talked about yesterday of he'll be a third-string quarterback in the NFL for a really long time. He's a good college quarterback. Now, for me, I'm going to take that kid that you spent 3 minutes sliding earlier, Grayson McCall.
Grayson McCall.
Yeah. I had a top 8 because I had a feeling you weren't going to take Quinn Ewers. I got 4 of my top 6.
Good.
And 5 of my top 8. Grayson McCall would be good at any level. Now, is he going to go out and throw for 4,000 yards? No, but that's not what he's asked to do. To me, he's a more talented version of Stetson Bennett with much less weapons.
Okay.
Are we doing a UDFA here?
Sure. UDFA, undrafted free agent. We will count down from 3. We'll both say a name. If we take the same guy, nobody gets it.
I'll let you go first because I know you're not going to say the one I am.
Okay. Drake May. Give him to me.
I knew that's what you were going to do.
Of course I did. Of course I did. I was having this conversation with my dad yesterday. We were talking about Drake May. And I said, I fell in love really, really quickly with Sam Howell. I said from the 3rd game he ever played at Carolina, this kid's going to win a Heisman Trophy. And I feel like he could have had his offensive line protected him even a little bit last year.
Or if you could have played dead and Western on defense.
True. I like Drake May better.
I don't, but I could. I just need to see you do it against big boy competition.
Sure, and ACC season's coming up soon, and you'll be able to see what Drake May can do when he faces stiffer competition.
Now, my final one has absolutely no pro prospects whatsoever. It's KJ Jefferson at Arkansas. He's just a gamer, and he embodies that Arkansas mentality to the highest extreme. I love Sam Pittman. And the more I see and hear of him, the more I love him. And I swear to you, if he could have built a quarterback out of granite, it would have been KJ Jefferson. I just love the kid. I think they're going to upset teams that will shock you before this season's out.
All right, there's your daily draft for today. We'll have it posted up on social media. You can vote on the winner as we do each and every day. When we come back from the break, we will, be time for the most important message of the day. Don't do crimes.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction, become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue due to an accident. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Traffic is very busy. 26 westbound slows between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slowing between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Brevard Road. 40 westbound crawling between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Brevard Road north and southbound stop and go between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Avery Creek area. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound and southbound slow in the Fletcher area approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road northbound slow between Royal...
This report is sponsored sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival,
where the biggest stars from all walks of music come together.
September 23rd and 24th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Limited seats are still available at AXS.com or stream it live on the CW app and CWTV.com.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Brought to you by the CW's new hit series, All-American Homecoming. Stream every episode now for free, only on the CW app.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. And if you're gonna do crimes, I keep saying this over and over again, if you're gonna do crimes, it's probably not a good idea to advertise the fact that you're doing crimes. I have been waiting for a story like this to pop up for a couple of years now. This comes to us from Flomation, Alabama.
Which I still maintain is a made-up place.
It is. It is a made-up place. It is actually spelled Flomaton. But in Flomation, Alabama, a man is facing charges for moonshining. 48-year-old Johnny Wayne Griffiths. And you may know that name if you watch a lot of television and reality television shows. Because this guy has not been on just one, but two different shows that talk about the fact that he runs from the cops while making moonshine. Like I said, I've been waiting for this story to happen. That Eastern Tennessee, the moonshiners guys who started the trend of these moonshiner shows. Like, how's this work? You go on television, you tell everyone you're doing crimes, but they never catch you.
It's not crimes.
It's absolutely crimes.
I don't know about that. We'll ask Asheville Police Chief David Zach tomorrow.
And he will say 100% crimes. Back in 2020, Griffiths competed on a Discovery Channel show called Moonshiners Master Distiller. And also this past year, a new television series launched called Alabama Shine that features him on the Country Network. I don't know what the Country Network is or where to find it, but it's on the Country Network.
Is that CMT?
I don't know.
That's the only country network I know.
Yeah, Griffiths and another moonshiner in Carbon Hill, Alabama are featured on that show. And finally, officials say they have caught up to him. He is now charged with making illegal alcohol because you can't just make your own. There's taxes that you have to pay, and what do if you don't pay your taxes? They throw your tail in jail. That's how they got Al Capone I'm pretty sure Mr. Flowmation Moonshiner is not going to be able to escape the Alabama Code of Enforcement for too much longer. He has been charged, and if he is convicted, he could face 5 years in prison. Again, if you're going to do crimes, don't advertise the fact that you do crimes. Was that money that you made off of the Country Network TV show really enough for you to go, yeah, I'll spend 5 years in jail?
It's kind of hard for me to agree with you on any of this, considering I'm friends with 3 of the Moonshiners. Kind of makes it difficult.
Look, am I saying that I don't enjoy the product? No. I am a mountain. I am born and raised in these here mountains, and we all know that stuff is just white gold.
Well, I mean, for you.
But still.
You have one smell of it and floor.
So, still
now,
enjoy
me,
it.
on the other hand, I can actually enjoy it.
Do it by the jar.
Now, real crimes were committed by William Branch. Guess what state he's from?
Florida.
There it is. This story comes to us from the wonderful state of crimes, Florida. Mr. Branch was at a Chick-fil-A, and he saw a woman with a baby, and she was trying to get the baby into the car. So what did Mr. Branch decide to do? Let's just steal her keys and try to hijack her car. Only problem is that Michael Gordon noticed this. He is an employee of the Chick-fil-A. And I'm going to assume he's either a high school wrestler or something of the like. Mm-hmm. Because when he saw the attempted carjacking happen, he took matters into his own hand and literally guillotine choked Mr. Branch out. Cops were called, he was arrested, and he was charged with carjacking with a weapon and battery outside the Chick-fil-A.
Attempted kidnapping, is that a charge you can put on somebody?
Well, he didn't try to steal them. He was just trying to steal the car. They weren't in the car.
Oh, the baby was not in the car.
No, they were outside of the car. She had her keys in her hand. He ran up and grabbed them, and then this lovely Chick-fil-A employee made very short work of him. We'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you like to guess what the weapon he was brandishing was? Notice that I did not tell you, I didn't say anything about a weapon in the story because he had a weapon and it did not save him from the Chick-fil-A employee, who, by the way, tend to be the nicest people on the planet Earth.
Was it a gun? Did he have a gun?
No.
Knife?
No.
Baton.
What would be the most Florida thing I could say right here?
Flip-flop.
Meth pipe. Stick. He had a stick.
Stick, okay.
He had a stick. And that takes it to a higher level of felony because he had a stick in his hand.
Mm.
Here's my question.
Was it at least a sharpened stick?
Nope. Just a stick he picked up off the ground.
Stick. Okay.
Now, here's my question. Did the Chick-fil-A employee look at him after he choked him out and said, "It's my pleasure to serve you"? Because that would make the story even better.
Look at that. I mean, you may have the best chicken sandwich on the market.
Not close.
I think it's close.
It's not close.
I think it's close.
Well, I mean, there are several that are good. Chick-fil-A is the one you show up at 6:39. By 6:42, you are to the red light and going your own way.
Right.
If the U.S. government ran as efficiently as a Chick-fil-A did, we would not have inflation problems right now.
You may have because Bojangles, they're doing
Bojangles
stuff.
is very good.
They're doing stuff with that chicken sandwich.
Absolutely, they
It's breaking boundaries. You may have the best.
They also have
chicken
better
sandwich,
sweet tea,
but the no doubt best employees of a fast food chain.
They're always so kind.
I know.
They always put your sauce in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting every single time.
Yeah.
And at other fast food places, you might get a cheeseburger or you might get a Band-Aid. You just don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lottery. Who knows what's going to be in this bag?
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Tonight we got NFL football once again. It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days too long since we've had NFL football. Tonight you got the Los Angeles Chargers in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. We talked about at the top of the program what a big game this is for both of these teams. It will help us along the way of how we feel these teams will compete against each other and the rest of that division all season long. But you can only find it on Amazon Prime.
And a lot of people are losing their minds about this.
Of course they are, because we don't have it.
This is not hard to figure out. The NFL's trying to find a younger audience. It's what they're after. It's the reason that you get games on Nickelodeon, which to me, stupid. But I'm also not 6, and according to you, I never had a childhood. Right. There was never a time in my life that I would go, I'm going to watch the Chargers and the Chiefs because Pat Mahomes is going to get slimed on if he scores a touchdown. I'm out on that. I'd have been out on that when I was 6. But tonight you're going to have TikTok influencers that are doing something with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I have a funny feeling we're going to walk away from the way this is presented and go, what was that?
Just because of all the different things that it will include, the different elements.
All of the added nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of added nonsense. Now I understand why you do it. You're trying to get you have me. You could put this on PBS at 4 o'clock in the morning, and guess what? I'm watching it. You're trying to find the precursory fan. I understand that. But I don't need all of these extra little bells and whistles. I'm good with Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit. Let's just do this the way we know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. The sad thing is that's not the new generation, and that's not who they're after. They've got you, regardless of what kind of crap they throw out there. I mean, they could, they could break down at halftime and start doing Katy Perry, greatest hits. And
ESPN did that at one time. They started having concerts in the middle of halftime.
They did, but that's what I'm saying. Still watched it. But that's what I'm saying. They've got you. They've got me. They've got pretty much everybody listening to this program. The people that they don't have are the younger generation, the TikTok generation. If you can throw out, some hot TikToker, the Beast or whatever the hell his name is, you could throw somebody like that onto the broadcast and get more kids interested, then you're going to do it. And I mean, look, I know a few kids, but I don't know any kids that are interested in sitting down and just watching a 3-hour football game that just has Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. You need to snap it up. You gotta keep them entertained, and that's what they're after.
Look, I get it. All right, Roger Goodell could show up at my house once a week and punch me in the face and poop in my driveway, and it would not change the fact that I'm still going to watch 7 hours of commercial-free football.
Right.
But I think you have to be careful in a standalone like this. It's one thing with the playoff game when there's 2 others. I have a legitimate fear that tonight is going to be one of those things that you just walk away and go, what was that? Now, the NFL learns very quickly. They don't tend to make mistakes for an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. I know a good amount of what's going to happen tonight. Just different press releases and things like that. I know a lot of the people that are going to be involved in this. And it's not making me feel warm and fuzzy. The fact that there are 6 TikTok influencers, okay, maybe just do that on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's where you're going to find them anyway. Give me a way to consume the game. This is the one of the major qualms that I have had with the NFL. In these standalone games, you can chase that kid audience. I don't care. Give me a way as the purist to watch this. Manning cast. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get from Peyton and Eli's brain, yeah, there's some tomfoolery around it. That's fine. I like that. I don't want what I'm afraid this is going to be the only way I can consume this. I don't need to hear Jake and Logan Paul telling me what they think about the Chargers, bro. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. And I'm afraid that's going to be a part of the narrative tonight.
All right.
Just little things I know.
Yeah, I won't be so much interested in that. But I think they put together a hell of a team to put this game out there. You got Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit doing the actual heavy lifting during the game. And then for the pregame, halftime, postgame shows, you got Tony Gonzalez, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Richard Sherman.
That's good.
I feel like that could be a very entertaining thing. I love Tony Gonzalez. We've always known that Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, who can forget? Who can forget showing up with the chains and all of that? There can be a fun element to him, and Richard Sherman's one of the smartest and braggadocious individuals that ever played the game.
Oh, Richard Sherman's going to be a star doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
There are very few people that have ever gotten into commentary that I have been positive were going to be stars.
But with all those guys involved in the broadcast, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of room for ancillary things. And
I hope you're right.
And if they try to shove too much into it, it's going to be a distraction.
That's my fear. Mm-hmm. My fear is that we're going to walk away from this and just go, good Lord, that was a combination of a mishmash of ugh.
Yeah.
But the football's going to be fantastic. What do you look for tonight? Your big takeaway. After the break, I'll give my pick.
My big thing I'm looking forward to tonight is seeing Justin Herbert carve apart a Kansas City Chiefs defense that I do not believe in. I want to see him be protected. I'm worried about Chris Jones, obviously, as everybody should be. But I want to see Justin Herbert have that big moment on the road in Arrowhead, primetime game. It's time for you to step up and claim your title as one of the top quarterbacks in this league.
I like it. If you had to lay a prediction on it.
Like final score prediction?
Yeah. I'm going to give a final score.
I'm going to go Chargers 43.
Good gracious.
Kansas City 37. I think it's going to be back and forth all night long. At least that's what I hope it turns out to be.
Indeed. Well, part of the Mullets draft kit, if you're a member of our Patreon, is that you get my fantasy rankings every week. Those will be out tomorrow. But in this little mini banger segment, I'm going to give you what you would find in that. Final score, over-unders, all the good things, and that'll be coming up right after this.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Also very busy. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound crawling between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and the French Broad River. And 26 eastbound again slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Long Shoals Road. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Riverside Drive and 240. 40 westbound heavy volume between Hendersonville Road and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound. Delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Inkle Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sandhill Road to Bavard Road, very busy. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Dell Technologies' semi-annual sale has arrived, and it's time to upgrade to the latest business technology. Save big on laptops and desktops with Windows 11 Pro. Plus, get amazing deals on server, storage, and cloud solutions, as well as top work accessories, including docks, monitors, and more. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL for special business offers during our semi-annual sale.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we get the conference season going as McDowell comes up the mountain to take on T.C. Robertson. The Rams are 2-1 on the season, coming off an off week to get ready for the Fightin' Titans. Sports Tank Friday gets us started at 6 with a kickoff at 7. On AM 1400 and TuscolaRadio.com, Tuscola will be at Hayesville. Cowboy John Roten and the gang will get the pregame started at 7, kickoff 7:30. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados. Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25-day of show. And a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at Silverado'sWNC.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Tonight, Thursday night football, Los Angeles Chargers, at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a 4-point favorite. Over-under is 54. I'm going to be honest with you. I see no path that this game does not go over because neither one of these – look, the pass rush for the Chargers is very good. The front four for the Chiefs is pretty good. The back half, especially if there's no J.C. Jackson, not great for either one of them. Now, that being said, who's going to do the scoring? This is what I get asked more often than I get asked for anything. So starting tomorrow, if you're a member of the Patreon, you will be able to get projections for fantasy football the way I do them, which is I go all the way down to who's going to get how many carries. Tonight, I have Pat Mahomes going 27-41, 357 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. That's a very good fantasy night. It'll be dispersed. I have Juju Smith-Schuster as the highest scoring of the receivers, and Isaiah Pacheco is the highest scoring of the running backs. Now, with the Chargers, I think we all know who the highest scoring of the receivers is going to be.
Josh Palmer.
It's Josh Palmer, 18.6 points in my projection with a touchdown. Justin Herbert goes 28-43, 327 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Also, formidable night. But what you're really interested in, the final score. I got this one 31-28, Kansas City Chiefs. Chargers cover. Chiefs win. If it was in L.A., I'd be taking the Chargers. It's not. It's going to be very hard to go into Arrowhead and win. Now, we're doing 5 on it. So, what are the gambling picks for this 5 on it? I got 50 on the Chargers plus the 4. Because in spite of the fact that I don't think they win, I don't see much of a chance that this game gets out of hand. I think we're overvaluing the Chiefs because of what we just saw with them beating a terrible Cardinals team that people haven't figured out how terrible they are. The Chargers really controlled the Raiders in spite of the fact that the score didn't show that. So I got 50 on it, Chargers plus 4. I got 50 on it over the 54. And then for the first time ever, I got 5 on it, Josh Palmer, first touchdown scorer at plus 1,500. I love Josh Palmer so much.
Right out the gate, you think he's going to score the first points of the game?
Well, you know, if you hit that, if you go to betus.com, use our promo code Sportsocracy, that $5 wager will pay you $75 US if I'm right. And if you put 10 on it, it'll pay you $150.
Very good return on the investment.
It's a great return on the investment.
That's right.
With no Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer is going to be a more fixated part of the offense. You're going to get L'Jarius Sneed on Mike Williams. They're going to try to take Mike Williams out, and you beat us with the ancillary pieces. Mm-hmm. I don't love Jalen Guyton. I don't love Gerald Everett. Big night for Austin Eckler. Big night for Josh Palmer. And our buddy Brian Haynes is not here, so I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout-out to him with a Go Chargers, go!
That's coming up tonight on Thursday Night Football, the first ever on Amazon Prime exclusively, unless you're in the local markets. And, that's That's why you're not going to be able to see the game tonight if you don't have Amazon Prime. So save your emails. Don't call Spectrum upset that you've blocked the game or something. It's only on Amazon Prime. We will have the full recap of all of it tomorrow right here in the Sportsocracy, as well as playing Beat the Chief, college, pro, and all of Jeremy's fire picks for the weekend.
Bangers going deep. Got two that are plus 30-point dogs.
Here in the Sportsocracy tomorrow on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, how about this? Low humidity feels fantastic. Another night tonight in the low 50s in the valley and some 40s with elevation. Low humidity hanging out across the Carolinas and a north wind. Sunshine Friday, high 80 degrees. Winds change direction and become more southerly over the weekend. The 80s return with some mid and upper 80s early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound crawling between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound delays in pockets between I-40 and Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Newfound Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road, northbound, slows approaching Long Shoals Road. And near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road, southbound, slowing near Fanning Bridge Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, north and southbound, delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road slows between Sand Hill Road and Bavard Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the its, KBB.com it.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org.